Hurricane Milton is making its way toward Florida, and based on the last projections of the storm's path that I got a chance to see, it looks like it's headed straight for the Orlando area, which I understand seems super intimidating to so many of you, especially those of you who are in the Walt Disney World, Universal, tourist area. But don't worry, we're gonna help you through it. We're gonna make sure that you can stay calm, informed, and still have a great time, which is one of the reasons we're chatting today. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Jeep parked on the roof of Orange Garage. We're here at Disney Springs today for a very specific reason. I want to give you some information on what you can do now to prepare for Hurricane Milton, which is going to be impacting us in the next few days. So here's what's on the list of things to do. Number one, we're going to get in there. We're going to talk a little bit about how to prepare for storms, and I'm going to give you a little bit of information about what to expect during a hurricane, just some general stuff, for those of you who have never been through a hurricane before. We're going to talk a little bit about what Disney does during these types of storms, just so that you know what to expect. I don't have as much experience with Universal, but there is no doubt in my mind that it is a very similar process. So I'm going to keep you up to speed on that. Also, if you are a Universal, you've ever gone through a storm at Universal, please feel free to share your experiences in a comment down below so that everyone can stay informed. But here's why we're doing this here at Disney Springs today, because I did pick this location for a very specific reason. There are a lot of you out there who you just want to keep the family entertained. You want to make sure that the next couple days can still be magical despite Hurricane Milton. I'm going to tell you how to do that without even having to leave Walt Disney World. We're gonna shop around. I'm gonna show you some of the things that I would recommend picking up, tell you where to get it, give you an idea of what the selection looks like. And of course, we're gonna wander around and see what we can get ourselves into. Try and stay dry, but no promises. Of course, it is kind of raining. The weather has already made its way here, even though this isn't officially hurricane yet. But anyway, let's get out of here, make our way in, and enjoy our morning. Now, first order of business, we need to talk a little bit about what to expect from a storm, because I know there are so many of you who have never experienced a hurricane before and you're concerned, which by the way is totally normal. Now you'll probably hear me say a lot today, like, don't worry about it, relax, try and stay calm. That is important, but it is normal to feel a little hyped up, especially if this is new for you. So hurricanes are storms that bring wind and rain. The wind can be a problem because it can cause damage, but the rain is usually a bigger problem because it can cause flooding. And that definitely happens in the Orlando area. Now, of course, some areas won't be impacted by flooding at all. Some areas will. It all just depends on where you're located. It also depends on where you're headed. Sometimes certain areas of the highway might be shut down because there's standing water. They don't want you driving through it because it could be dangerous. It could be deep, but that's really only something you have to concern yourself with if you happen to be driving back and forth. If you're going to be driving into the theme parks, planning on driving over to Universal, just keep an eye out on that. Keep your ear to the ground and be ready for some delays because you might experience some. This is one of the reasons that you'll often hear people to recommend staying put once the storm starts to cause some inclement weather. It's just safer, not only because conditions can be bad for driving, but also because you just don't know what you're going to run into out there on the road. Of course, we've talked a little bit more about storms in the past, and we'll talk a little bit more about them in the future as we make our way through the storm. We'll give you some updates on social media, maybe even here on the channel. But what I'm sure so many of you are really curious about is what to expect if you're here at a place like Walt Disney World. Now, first of all, if you haven't noticed it already, Walt Disney World has been releasing information and updates regarding Hurricane Milton. You can find these on the Walt Disney World website as well as in the My Disney Experience app. We've even been sharing them with you over on our social media, so you can check in with us, but I highly recommend checking Disney's website directly, checking the app directly, so you get information straight from the mouse's mouth. I was gonna say from the horse's mouth, but you want the info straight from Mickey himself, The website and My Disney Experience app is also where you're going to find information about park hours, which might shift, especially as the storm makes its way closer to us. Sometimes the parks close early or maybe open late. This is for your safety and the safety of cast members. People need a little bit of extra time to get home ahead of the storm and not only get in after the storm, but get the parks ready for you after the storm. So make sure that you're staying up to speed with all of that information, any changes that might be coming via the My Disney Experience app or the Walt Disney World website. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about what to expect during the storm itself. specifically from Disney during a storm. So Disney's goal during a storm is to make sure that their guests and cast are safe. They're going to do everything that they can in order to make that possible. And they do this in a few different ways. Of course, they'll make sure that the parks are closed in an appropriate time frame, adjusting those hours like I mentioned a second ago. They're also going to make it possible for you to function during that time, even if it looks a little bit different from what you were originally planning on your vacation. So depending on the conditions, Disney might have altered menus at their quick service locations so that you can get food a little bit easier. They'll have some entertainment available, some activities for the kids to keep everyone safe and calm during the storm. So they're going to do their best. Which, look, it might not be perfect, but they're going to give you all of the tools that you need to manage during the duration of the storm, more specifically during the worst of the storm, which is another great opportunity for me to give you a little bit of info about storms like this, about Hurricane Milton. Generally speaking, when hurricanes move through, we feel the effects for a few days, especially in a place like here in the Orlando area. I mean, you can see right now we've got some nasty weather, we've got some rain, it's a little bit breezy, but this isn't the hurricane, this is just like the precursor. When the storm moves through, there's going to be a period of time where it's nasty out, but it's not necessarily dangerous. And then there's going to be that time frame when the conditions are dangerous. That's when we're going to see Disney do things like alter park hours. While a storm like Hurricane Milton might bring nasty weather for a few days, maybe even a week, the worst part of the storm only lasts for a short time comparatively, maybe about a day. And it also depends on when it impacts us. Sometimes it can hit in the middle of the night and you can sleep through most of it. Doesn't really seem like much of a big deal, but we're not likely to see change in operation or you being stuck in your hotel for days and days and days. More often than not, it's like a day or two at best, which is one of the reasons that I say it's always a good idea to have some extra stuff with you when you travel during hurricane season. You know, you have some activity books or puzzles or some extra snacks that you can enjoy in your room if you happen to get stuck in your room for a few hours or even a day. But look, sometimes you don't have that. And that's one of the reasons that we're here at Disney Springs today. I want to show you what's available to you right here at Disney Springs without having to leave Disney Springs, without having to leave Walt Disney World. You don't even have to pay for an Uber or a rideshare or anything like that. You don't need a car of your own. You can take Disney transportation to get here for free and pick up everything that you need to get yourself through the nasty weather that comes with Hurricane Milton. So I'm going to take you around, show you what your options are, and tell you what I would be buying if I was here with my family, including kids, because I've done storms with kids. So I'm going to tell you what catches my eye, what I would be picking up if I was here on vacation right now to keep us busy for like 24 hours. And our first stop is Goofy's Candy Company. Now this shouldn't come as a surprise to any of you. I like candy. Goofy's is a great place to get candy. They also have a lot of fun candies that you can try and maybe snack on. So let's get in there, take a look at what they got, and I'm gonna tell you what I would be picking up during Hurricane Milton. What do they have? So first and foremost, for all of you who are gonna comment on how this candy is overpriced, I hear you. We're just trying to make it through the storm, okay? That's the goal. And like I said, sometimes you gotta spend a little bit extra to keep everyone chill, especially if you yourself are not chill. You gotta stay chill so the family stays chill. It's at least what makes sense to me. It's what works for me. Now let's see what we've got. Oh, we have some teas here. These have been available forever. I have not tried any. If you have, let me know, but this actually might be a nice little treat for mom or grandma. Can enjoy that in the hotel room. Got some cocoa here. Oh, that would be fun. You can have some cocoa and watch a movie. You know, let's get the gears turning, see what options are available to us. Lots of different snacks here. I've always wanted to try one of these Rice Krispie treats or crisp rice cereal treats. I haven't tried one yet. If you've tried one, let me know. Are they any good? Of course, we don't just have prepackaged things here, we also have some fresh things here as well. We have some cookies already packed and ready to go. Ooh, holiday marshmallow. That's a marshmallow on a stick that's dipped in chocolate and decorated. I love those. I like the ones with the sprinkles. Of course, they do have one of those right there. I think that's the churro cookie. These are all really good. That one's delicious as well, and they're huge. Russ really liked that one. So these are all a good choice. Not a bad price either. Of course, we have lots of other prepackaged candies here as well. Let's see, would I snag any of these to get through the storm? I do like gummy candy. I like fruit snacks, and these remind me of fruit snacks. In fact, these right here, the white ones, remind me of those Scooby-Doo fruit snacks. It wasn't white, it was blue, but I don't know, I'm drawn to those. It's like I need a bag of those. These are really good. I love those. They're tutti fruity flavored, which means they kind of taste like bubble gum. I loved these as a kid. Those are tasty. Oh, but what do we have here? Sour balls are good. Cherry sours I really do enjoy. Someone introduced them to me and I was just like, yeah, these are a new favorite. So lots of different options. I think I would go with the sour balls, a marshmallow from the case, definitely that big chocolate chip cookie because I know Russ likes that. And we'd be trying these. We'd be trying those for sure. Now, this isn't the only place that you can get snacks. This is a place where you can get candies here at Disney Springs. You can also find a more limited selection of this type of thing at your resort hotel. If you're staying at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel, these pre-packaged bagged candies, those are around pretty much everywhere, though again, the selection is limited. Also, if your hotel has a bakery case, you might be able to find some of those bakery items there as well. They're also available like at the theme park, so if you happen to be in the theme parks, grab an extra cookie, bring it back to the room and hang on to it until the storm really kicks off, you know? Now, another option that's at the top of my list is over on the opposite side of Disney Springs from where we're standing now. It's called Summer House on the Lake, and while that's a restaurant, it's a table service restaurant, they also have a cookie bar. They've got so many cookies to choose from. They're good size, they're relatively affordable, and there are so many different flavors that I think that that would be a great option. You know, pick up one of each, cut them up, do a taste test, maybe even rank the cookies. That's a fun treat and activity that can keep you busy but also have you trying something new. I would consider it. And the cookies are so good that you honestly can't go wrong. But next up, we're headed to, well, two places that I want to point out over here. First, Earl of Sandwich. Earl of Sandwich is a quick service sandwich shop. They have a lot of great sandwiches to choose from. We're gonna go take a look at the menu here in a second. Now, like I said, you're gonna be able to get food during the storm. You don't have to worry about that. But if you want to try something different, have something that you can choose as opposed to going with the limited menu that Disney has available, especially if the storm gets bad, why not stop over at a place like Earl of Sandwich, grab yourself a sandwich to keep in your beverage cooler and enjoy later. So as you can see, we have a lot of great options to choose from. This is not one of those places that we frequent all that often, just because it's kind of out of the way for us, and you know, we live here. So we have access to the pub sub, which is a whole different thing. But don't let me lead you to believe that this isn't a great option. It is a great option, especially a great option on property. It's just, I like pub subs. But of course we have a lot to choose from here. I say put in an order, you know, and then you can have something in your room ready for you whenever you're ready for it. You don't have to deal with any lines that you might have to deal with otherwise if you were going for Disney's option. Also, if you don't want to do this, go ahead and put in a mobile order at the quick service location that's at your hotel or at any other quick service location. Bring it back to your room, hold on to it. You know, choose wisely with whatever it is that you're gonna get. You know, you wanna have something that you can easily warm up in the microwave if you have access to a microwave. If you're in a place that doesn't have access to a microwave, a sandwich is a great option. So that's why I recommend that. Also, it's much smaller. You can kind of just throw it in your beverage cooler, not worry about it. But all right, just across from Earl of Sandwich, we have a toy store. This is Once Upon a Toy. Now, let's talk about why I'm recommending a stop over to Once Upon a Toy. They have toys, which can be great, especially if you have little ones in your traveling party, someone who is going to be maybe a little antsy being in the room or maybe even frightened with the thunder. Giving them something new and interesting can be a good way to keep their mind off of all of the stress and chaos that's going on. But there are some other options in here as well that I think would be a great way to keep your family entertained during a storm. Let's go check it out, see what they got. You actually might be a little bit surprised by what you can find in here. Sometimes they have things like puzzles and games, which if they don't have in here, they'll have in World of Disney, but I just wanted to check in here first. Of course, we have some plushies, lots of plushies in here. I love these. Have you guys seen these? They are so cute. They're all adorable. Anyway, staying on track here, looking for games. Well, we do have Lorcana over there. That's actually a great option. This is a card game. Going to be a little bit more appropriate for older children and families, but you could definitely get everything you need to start playing. I'm pretty sure they have all of it, if not here, over at World of Disney. And you could play Lorcana. You could also do activities like this. We have some bead kits, so you can make some jewelry. Got Mickey, Minnie, and Stitch. That's pretty cool. How much are these? $24.99. It's not too bad. Not ideal, but it'll work in a pinch, and that's honestly why we're here, right? Like, sure, you could have gotten this at home cheaper, but here we are. Also, another thing to take into consideration while we look at these puzzles, which is another great option, is that I know there are a lot of you who are like, well, I could just order something through Amazon or Uber, whatever, and have it delivered to my hotel. This can be a good option, but at this point, it might be a little bit late for that. That's not to say that you won't get lucky. You might get lucky, but I find that around this point, when we have a storm like Hurricane Milton coming in, these things get a little bit backed up. You might not even be able to get a delivery, so that's why I want to give you the options that are available to you without having to rely on that. Of course, we have some more puzzles over here. I think Russ is actually working on this puzzle as we speak. It is a very challenging puzzle. Do we have these? I think we have those as well. He hasn't started on that yet though. Oh, look. Pirates. It's pretty cool. This puzzle is $29.99. Okay, so this is exactly why I came here in the first place. Board games. Now, Walt Disney World does have a number of Disney-themed board games you can find throughout the parks, but of course we can see them, pretty much all of them right here. We've got Candyland, we've got Monopoly, look at that. Disney Monopoly, if you're thinking about having a really tense experience during the hurricane. It's actually what it looks like. Kind of see it. We've got Clue, Pirates of the Caribbean Battleship, the Game of Life down there. Let's take a look at how much this is. Game of Life is $49.99. Candyland is $24.99. So lots of options over here for board games. Let's see if there's any on the other side. Okay, so over here we have some more options and also some more basic options. So we have Haunted Mansion Chess. That's $100. A little intense, but we do have Uno, Yahtzee. This is actually really cool. I love this. Let me show you why. So the cups are themed. Aren't they cool? So you can see that's an Epcot cup. Over here we have an Animal Kingdom cup. So they're themed to all of the 4 theme parks. Isn't that awesome? Hollywood Studios and then Magic Kingdom. I just feel like this would be a super great option for $49.99 because not only is it a game that you can play with your family, but great little souvenir, and it's beautiful. We do have an Alice in Wonderland teacup game. We have Disney Parks Guess Who. This one is $19.99. And then over here we have like everything, cards, dominoes. So that's a great option. We also have playing cards. Playing cards are a great option, fantastic option even. $16.99 for this. We have Nightmare Before Christmas and Haunted Mansion. I actually think that this is my favorite section thus far. If I was making a purchase, I would definitely be getting a playing card. I would be going with Haunted Mansion, definitely Uno and Yahtzee. Though if I'm being honest with you, all of those were great options depending on what your family enjoys and the age of your family. You know, some games might be more appropriate than others, but they do have a good selection. So you can keep everyone busy, maybe have a tournament, you know, see who is the best in your family at Disney Guess Who. That could be fun. For my family, it was Connect 4. My dad and I would play these like Connect 4 speed rounds. They would go really, really quick. And we didn't do it all that often, but that was our game of choice. They didn't have Connect 4 in here though, which is kind of disappointing. Also, I do think that this is a better option for going to get games and toys than World of Disney. World of Disney, a little bit crazy, a little bit more hectic in there. So if you are looking for a board game or something, I think that that's a better option. Make your way over to Once Upon a Toy. It's not much farther. World of Disney is right there, and Once Upon a Toy is right there. It's like, boop, quick jaunt. Now, going back to treats for a second, there are a long list of places where you can get treats that you can have packaged up and bring back to your hotel with you. Amorette's is a really great example of that, though I do think they're a little bit on the pricey side. Then again, I don't know anymore because prices were just released for that new cake bake shop. Did you guys see that? I'm sure you did because it's been all over social media. We're not going to talk about that today, but don't worry, we will. Next stop though, my favorite place for basics and affordable necessities that are really good quality, Uniqlo. Now there are so many things that you can get from Uniqlo, like if you need it, it's here, including winter jackets. They also have things like rain jackets, and it's, you know, it's a clothing store, but they also have some other stuff as well that I think is worth taking into consideration. Oh, kind of like these. Look at that. Is that a color I could pull off? I could definitely do the white, definitely do the black. No surprise to anybody there. But this green might be nice too. Oh, maybe I have to pick one of those up. Anyway, they also have other things like fanny packs, backpacks, umbrellas. So you can keep an eye out for that stuff too, and you can usually count on getting it here. Check it out. I also noticed that they happen to have books here as well. This is just behind the like create your own station. What do we've got? We do have some children's books, which is kind of cool. Some with activities. Oh, it's my buddies. Look how cute they are. Oh my goodness, adorable. This book is $12.90. So they do have stuff in here too. It's worth taking a look at if you happen to be here. Got some more stuff over here as well. Pretty cool. Let's see, this is $24, not bad. Not bad. Attack on Titan, Naruto. This is pretty cool. I do like that. And of course, like I said, we have things like the bags. This is a great option to carry around. 12 bucks. It's a great, or excuse me, $19.90. It's a great option anyway, but especially during super rainy weather, if you want to have a cheap bag that isn't going to get ruined, if you happen to have a bag with you that is just, you don't want to get drenched during the storm, but you still want to go out, you know, maybe grab one of these. It's big enough to hold all your stuff. Seriously though, there are so many great reasons to shop at Uniqlo. Also, the quality. The quality is just phenomenal. I have had Uniqlo stuff for years and years and years. You probably actually see me wear some Uniqlo stuff from over 10 years ago. It's just, it's worth the price. And if you need something, I mean, I can't recommend it enough because if you're gonna spend the money anyway, might as well spend the money on something that's gonna last. Now, of course, there's a long list of other places that you can get the clothing items that you might be looking for around Disney Springs. Under Armour is another great option that I like. They have Lululemon here, Zara if you're looking for something fancy, but they also have some other places that I think are worth keeping an eye out in, especially if you're still going to be heading out during the inclement weather. Obviously, you know, not during the height of the storm, but you know, it's raining, maybe it's pouring, you're still making your way out. This would be a good option for any time of the year here at Walt Disney World because it rains a lot. So let's take a look at some of the options that I think you want to make note of, or at least you might want to make note of. Of course, some of these are not, you know, this is not a good rain outfit. None of these. I mean, I guess it just depends. Oh, Fit to Run is a great option to be aware of if you happen to be here and in need of a pair of shoes, because you can get some athletic shoes in here. Look, is it the best price? Not really. I guess it depends, but you can definitely find what you're looking for in here. You don't have to settle for Crocs. We also have Sperry right there. I hear that they have some good options there as well, but I'm not familiar with Sperry brand shoes, but Fit to Run carries a number of different brands that, you know, you're probably familiar with. Things like On Cloud and Hoka's and, you know, all that stuff. We also have a Columbia in here, which might have what you're looking for. So as you can see, a lot of practical options that I think people don't think of as available here at Disney Springs, but they are available, and now you know about it. You know what's another great option that people walk right past, they never think about it? The Coca-Cola store. They have a lot of stuff in here that is Coca-Cola branded, but it might be what you're looking for. When we were here, was it in 2019? Russ needed an eyeglass case, so we popped into there because I was like, they got a lot of stuff. We'll see what they have. They had one, very affordable, very durable. He still uses it today. All right, I think that about does it for our shopping adventure here at Disney Springs today, but we still have a few things to talk about when it comes to making it through Hurricane Milton. So, you know, just like with everything else that we talk about here on the channel, so much of making it through this storm with your sanity is going to be keeping everyone calm, cool, collected, and entertained, which is exactly why we talked about what we talked about today. Realistically, yes, there are definitely things to be concerned about when a storm is on its way, but it's so important to understand that the level of concern that you have is a little bit different from those of us, for example, who are living here. Yes, we both have to take it seriously. Yes, we both have to be aware of our surroundings and do what we can to stay safe. But especially if you're here on vacation, you're staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, you have someone in your corner making sure that you are well taken care of. And look, having someone in your corner keeping an eye out for you is really great, but there's still a role. There's still a role that you play in this, and that is to keep yourself informed, keep yourself calm, and you can do that by keeping yourself and your family entertained. Now, we talked about how to keep your family entertained today. I talked a little bit about what to expect when it comes to hurricanes like Hurricane Milton, but let's just touch on really quickly how to stay informed. Of course, when it comes to things related to Walt Disney World, you can keep an eye out on the Walt Disney World website and the My Disney Experience app. When it comes to things related specifically to weather, using your favorite weather app is a great option. Of course, there you can find details about the weather in general, but you'll also see some information about the storm and the forecast over the next few days. Staying tuned to social media can be another great way to stay up to speed with what's going on. I do think that, of course, we are in the state of Florida and Ron DeSantis is our governor. Staying up to speed with what he's saying is a really good thing during these storms. In fact, there's been a lot of press conferences recently where he's been telling residents and people in different areas of Florida what they need to know. So that might be another option available to you. You can also find that information on the local news as well. But you know, for the most part, the most important thing for you to do is stay informed with that travel related news, especially if you're traveling in. So again, Walt Disney World website, My Disney Experience app. If you're going to be traveling out anytime in the next few days, you're planning on flying out or whatever the case may be, make sure that you're staying up to speed with the status of your flight and all of your travel plans. Same is true if you're planning to make your way down to Florida. Just keep yourself informed. But I think that about covers all of it, at least for right now. I know it's so much information and I'm breezing through it, but don't worry, I'm here for you. I'm here to answer your questions and I'm here to chat with you about this as we make our way through the storm. We're doing it together. I'm down here with you. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments down below. Also, be sure to stay tuned to our social media. I'll be chatting with you over there. I'll also have some information here on the community page. And yes, I know it's a lot of information and I know that that's super intimidating, but I just want to wrap up by saying that it's going to be okay. We're going to make it through this, even if it doesn't seem like it at the moment. I know it can always be really intimidating with all of the chatter, with all of the information that's out there. But like I said, I'm here for you. We'll make sure that we stay in touch. And before you know it, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled magic. Until then, take a couple breaths, grab that coffee or that snack, think about what you might want to do over the next couple days if you happen to be stuck inside, and do your best to enjoy the day. I know it's not necessarily beautiful out, but it's still a good day. All right, until next time, guys. Bye.